Hello, my name is Jamie and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Unlike any other YouTube channel that showcases Pokemon Go PvP content, mine exclusively showcases Shadow Pokemon. So, if you're into that type of content, I'd appreciate if you could like and subscribe.
So, let's get into today's video. In today's video, we are showcasing yet another unique Triple Shadow team comp in the Master League Classic. Now, come on, let's face it. Where else are you going to see Shadow Gardavoir and Shadow Swampert on the same team in the Master League Classic? Probably nowhere, so hopefully you're glad you stopped by this channel. If you enjoy the spice, I'd really appreciate if you smash that like and subscribe button. But getting back into this video. So, the thought process behind this team. Well, Gardevoir doesn't really want to see steel types, and other than that, it can more or less charm down most things. Well, I say that, it can't because its stat product's too light. So if it goes into a mirror charm match against someone like a Togkiss, it'll just get outbulked. If it goes against something like a Kyogre, it'll just get outbulked again. So that's not technically true, but that's kind of the thought process. As the anti-steel though, we're going to have Shadow Swampert. I evolved this a little while ago. Its IVs are pretty trash, but it's the best one I had. I think it'll have more play in the Master League Premier Classic that's coming up. But I got some dust from Community Day, so we've powered it up. And, well, we're going to see if the core of Swampert and Gardevoir works. Obviously, there's a few things that do beat both of these, such as Kyogre, Groudon, Giratina, believe it or not, even though it's taken super effective from Charm, it's also dishing super effective. So we round the team off with the big thick boy Shadow Snorlax on the save swap. So without any further ado, let's get into the battles. We will be leading our Shadow Gardevoir for the duration of this video. And in game 1, we pick up one of them bad leads against Togkiss. Like I said, we do get outbulked, so I get a bit of energy together and I switch into Snorlax. We are now met with a Dialga. However, this Dialga has given us a huge energy lead, so I'm going to be able to go straight for this superpower. We're not baiting. I either want the shield or to do huge damage. We draw the first shield. This second superpower, even though it's one stage debuff, will do big damage. You can see there we now get it to around half health. The Dialga is now expending its energy, so this is perfect for us. We can allow our Snorlax to go down, as usual it's done its job. Dialga is now deep into the red, so we're going to be able to wait out our switch timer, and we're going to be able to come in with Gardevoir and charm down without using another shield. Charm generates energy so slowly, but we are almost at the charge move. We sneak a charm through, so I am going to be able to shield this move up, which is the ancient power, and I'm going to be able to charm down and have energy for whatever's coming in the back. In comes a mudshot user, I believe it's Excadrill, but whatever it is, it's not going to want to take a charge move from Gardevoir, so we draw the shield, and at this stage, this is going to be a GG. I'm going to be able to shield this up. Drill Run doesn't actually do that much to Swampert. Puts us in the yellow, does around 65%. I overfarm quite a bit, and I go straight for this Hydro Cannon. I was going to go for the Earthquake, but Hydro Cannon is more than enough to take this game, and we're off to a 1-0 start. So GG's to that opponent. Let's see if we can keep the good momentum going into game 2 of the video. The first couple of sets I did attempt to run this team. I was getting absolutely destroyed. I think this is set 3 before I finally started to get to grips with how this team worked. So in game 3, we pick up a lead against Groudon. Every time I've ran a Dragonite lead, they've all been on Dragon Tail, but obviously as we're now running a Charmer that would resist it, it's obviously running Mudshot. They build up for the Earthquake, but I know we're squishy, so I know they're going to bait. I don't respect the Earthquake. They go for the back-to-back Fire Punch. So we shield up this first, we let the first one go through and shield up the second. They now bring in the Charmer. This is great because we can now bring in the big thick boy Snorlax. Charm versus Lick. You can see Snorlax is really bulky even in the Master League, so these Licks are almost doing as much damage as Charm. However, we actually generate energy a lot quicker. We're now at the back-to-back body slam, so if this Togkiss shield is going to have to go around 2 shields. The opponent recognises this and they actually let it go. So we are down a shield, but Snorlax does have some residual energy for whatever's going to come in the back. They actually bring in Dialga, so once again, we're not going to bait. I either want to take the health with the superpower or grab the shield. We do grab the shield, and now we're going to be able to bring back in Gardevoir, who's got a little bit of health left, and I'm hoping to grab the last shield with this Synchronoise. We do grab the last shield, And now I switch out into Swampert. I imagine the opponent's going to want to try and catch at some stage. So I don't throw the Earthquake. Back in comes Groudon. I get a little bit more energy together. Go for the Hydro Cannon, take out the Groudon. Back in comes the Dialga. This is going to be an Iron Head, which would be resisted. But Swampert's really squishy, so I'm not going to flex by not shielding that. And we go straight for this Earthquake. And Swampert is going to be able to clutch out game 2. Earthquake lands, and that does more than enough to one-shot Dialga. So off to a 2-0 start. Moving on into game 3 of the video. We lead our Shadow Gardavoir into Ho-Oh. This is dreadful. Obviously Ho-Oh resists Charm. So we instantly swap into Snorlax. They build up some energy and they actually come in with Mewtwo. So Mewtwo builds up just to the Side Strike, so I haven't got to fear their Focus Blast. Side Strike does come through, does a lot of damage, but big thick Snorlax isn't really too phased by that. We're still out of Psycho Cut range, so I go for this first Body Slam, and just before they reach the second Side Strike, I go for this second Body Slam. This is now going to force the shield, which it does. You can see they reach this next move. I've got a tough decision to make. Looks like they've got just a little bit too much health. I'm not going to have to lick down, so I actually let Snorlax go. And now, once again, I'm going to wait out my switch time. I'm going to bring in Gardevoir, and we should be able to charm down before they reach a move. We have now started to get a bit of energy together. Back out comes Ho-Oh. They are throwing their energy. This can be the Brave Bird, but Brave Bird, Earthquake, whatever they're throwing, Swampert doesn't want to take it. So we shield that up, and in the back is a Togkiss. You can see we're getting the spinning wheel of death. I time my charge move really poorly. We let a charm go through. We are going to need to get to 3 Hydro Cannons. Well, I don't think 2 actually KOs. I think it's just going to be just short. You can see there the first one comes through. We make the second one. This is going to get Togkiss super low, which it does. We don't actually take it out, but this is probably better for us because they're only at the Ancient Power. I can let Ancient Power go through, and we're actually going to get another charm's worth of energy on Gardevoir, which you can see there. And now this Ho-Oh is going to have to make 2 moves. We are really squishy. You can see these Incinerates are really starting to add up. There's the 5th. But I imagine this Shadow Ball should be enough to take them out. It isn't, but just as they're getting the energy for almost the back-to-back, I don't know what they're over farming for. There's actually at 6. 5's 100, so they should have thrown. And then obviously did another one to throw again. But either way, they wouldn't have had the energy. But a bit of a misplay from the opponent. I think they were committing to the Incinerate down, but either way, Gardevoir clutches out that game, so GG's to that opponent. Moving on into game 4, we pick up a lead against Mewtwo. So I am counting. I'm hoping to catch a Shadow Ball. I switch out on 7. Let's see if Big Snorlax catches the Shadow Ball. We actually do catch the Shadow Ball, which is great for us. Mewtwo builds up 3 Psycho Cuts worth of energy, and they switch out once again into Dialga. I'm not really a player who likes to bait. I either want to grab the shield or get the damage. So I go straight for this superpower. We do draw the shield. I'm heading towards the second superpower, but the Dialga actually throws its energy. So I've got a decision to make. I could shield this up and go for another superpower. However, I am choosing to take shield advantage. We've got a really healthy Gardevoir, so I can now commit to the 1 shield and farm down. I actually don't do that in this case. I go for the Synchronize. I'm hoping to keep 2 shields. Let's see if we can charm down. So yeah, I've actually kept both shields now, as I know that Mewtwo, I'm not going to have to throw a charge move if Mewtwo comes back, which it does, especially I've got a shield as I've got the charm through. So I'm going to shield this up. And once again, we are going to be able to commit to the farm down. So we've now got a half health Gardevoir against the Kyogre. So I'll go straight for the Synchronize. I imagine this will grab the shield. You can see the Kyogre's getting chunked down by this charm. I now switch out into Swampert. Kyogre is going to have to make back-to-back. They're at the 8th waterfall as they throw. So they're now 2 waterfalls short. So I'm going to shield up this Surf. That would KO from this range. Trust me, I've actually let it go through before. And it was absolutely shocking how much damage it done. But they are 2 waterfalls short of the next Surf. And Swampert comes in and Earthquakes the Kyogre for the victory. So GG's to that opponent. And somehow with this really crazy team comp I was getting smashed with, we are off to a 4-0 start. Could we possibly clutch out a 5-0? Let's see. So into the 5th and final game of the video. We pick up another dreadful lead against the Kyogre. you can see these waterfalls are absolutely shredding us. They're doing a lot more damage than our charm is. So I count to the 5th waterfall. It's 5 waterfalls to a surf, and I catch on the big thick boy Snorlax. The opponent is actually staying in, which is pretty dreadful for us. So I'm counting waterfalls once again, and just before they get to the next surf, I fire off this body slam. The Kyogres that stay in usually means there's a Giratina in the back, and this could be problematic for us, as Gardevoir is quite low on health and Swampert has a really poor matchup against Giratina. So, getting back to this battle, we go once again for the body slam. The opponent's actually double shielded and they've farmed us down, so now we're in a rough spot. Because I haven't really got a Pokemon that can tank this energy, so either way I am going to have to commit my last shield. So, I throw back in Gardevoir. We are in a real tricky spot. I shield up the surf, and now I am looking to farm down, which we're able to do. Let's see what they come in with. They come in with a Togkiss, and I don't even manage to get off the Synchronoise. And in the back's a Giratina. So, like I was expecting, you saw the Snorlax come in. They didn't have a great response, so Snorlax would beat both of them. And I throw an Earthquake just for science at this Giratina. And this is going to be GG's. So I actually back out of that stage. So we managed a 4-on-1 set. But we have got one bonus battle for you. This is quite an exciting one. So in the bonus battle, we lead our Gardevoir into a Groudon. Once again, we call the bait. Apparently, if you Shadow Gardevoir, we have to shield, which I don't. So we let the first Fire Punch through. We shield the second one. And just before they get to the third Fire Punch, we switch out and catch the energy on Snorlax. So that Groudon is now energy dry. They actually then meet us with a Melmetal. So we're pretty hard counted in the lead. And we're not really in a great position in the swap. Snorlax Melmetal is kind of a neutral matchup. However, we are down shields. Once again, I do not bait. I go for this superpower. The opponent respects it. They are over farming heavily. So I actually get to this second superpower. We are now 1 stage debuffed. So you can see the superpower lands. Does around 40%, but they are now into the red. They're at the back-to-back moves. There's absolutely no point me shielding up this Snorlax. They haven't even debuffed themselves, so we're in a tricky spot. We're now in the 1 shield to 1 shield, so let's see if the Ultra League GOAT, one of my favourite Pokemon in the Ultra League, Swampert, can do anything in Master League. You can see his stat product is really low, so we shield the first superpower, as it's going to do the most damage. The second superpower comes through, and we've now got a bit of energy for this Togkiss. So in comes Togkiss. His first Hydro Cannon grabs the shield. This second Hydro Cannon is going to get him down to around half health. And this is where you're going to see me make a combo play. So I switch into Gardevoir. I'm not really sure at this stage whether Synchronoise or Shadow Ball did more damage. I actually looked up after the match. Shadow Ball does do slightly more damage, so I should have went for Shadow Ball. But either way, we managed to take out the Togkiss. They come in with Groudon, looking to try and mudshot us down. Swampert hangs on with 1 HP, and we Hydro Cannon that Melmetal for the victory. So you can see there that Shadow Swampert does have some play in Master League. However, like I said at the start of the video, I think Shadow Swampert is going to be a lot better in the Premier. As you can see, my CP is 2925. When you're facing one like Kyogre, Dialga, Groudon, they're all well over 4000 CP. So they're pretty much like 33% stat product better than Swampert. All 3 of my Pokemon are actually around 3000 CP. I think Snorlax is the biggest at 3200. But if you're facing a team of, say, Groudon, Kyogre and Dialga, their stat product's over 12,000. Ours is 9,000. So literally, it's like them having an extra Pokemon. So the lack of bulk is brutal. But I am dedicated on this channel to trying to showcase as many unique Shadow Pokemon, as much unique Shadow content as I can. So although it was losing a lot of elo, it was fun to run this team, and we did manage to put a good set in there. So if you enjoy this type of content, I'd really appreciate if you smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.